Ever feel like when someone says justice, it's kind of slippery. Like everyone's got an idea, but
Yeah.
like nailing it down is tough.
Oh, absolutely. It's like one of those, big human questions, right? To be just like as people, as a whole society even.
Right. So today we are diving into that. Plato's Republic, Book 1. It's
Yeah.
like, think crash course, ancient Athens style on like philosophical debate with obviously Socrates leading the charge.
And where better to have a debate like that than a festival, right? We're talking ancient Athens here. Plato drops us right in. Socrates and his buddy Glaucon, they're on their way back from this festival. Big celebration for the goddess Bendis.
Hold on. Bendis.
Yeah, she was Thracian. Shows how open Athenian culture was, really.
Okay, but are we talking like Piraeus here? That Piraeus, the port?
The one and only. Commerce, culture, and hey, sometimes a good philosophical throwdown. It's like Plato wants us to feel that energy, All those ideas bouncing around right from the start.
I like that. Like we're there, eavesdropping on history or something. Okay, so Socrates, Glaucon, strolling through Piraeus, and bam, Polemarchus and his crew just show up.
It's the philosophical version of trying to leave a party, but your chatty neighbor catches you at the door. No escape now.
And just like that, they all end up where?
Cephalus's house. He's he's old, but like crazy sharp Athenian citizen.
Yeah.
And what do they end up talking about? Getting older. Classic Plato.
Always got to sneak in those deeper questions. So who is Cephalus in this philosophical party?
Oh, he's the wise old sage of the group. Everyone respects his take on things. And he's got this whole interesting idea about, wealth and justice. He's saying being wealthy later in life, it helps you be more just.
How's that work?
Think about it. Less temptation to lie, cheat, or, die owing someone something. He even quotes Sophocles about escaping desire being like getting away from a mad and furious master. Wealth buys you that, see? Face death without owing the gods or anyone else.
Okay, I'm seeing his point. Clear conscience, just life. But Socrates, he's not just going to let that slide, is he?
I know, no way. Socrates, he's like that intellectual fly you just can't swat away, He hears justice is honesty and paying debts, and bam, hits Cephalus with this scenario. Imagine a friend, out of their mind, loans you a weapon.
Oh boy, here we go.
Do you just hand it back, knowing they might hurt someone?
Good point. Kind of wrecks the whole always repay thing. What'd Cephalus say to that?
He suddenly remembered some very important sacrifices he had to go oversee. Perfectly timed, right?
Dodged that bullet.
Luckily, his son, Polemarchus, he was ready to take over.
Yeah, sounds like Cephalus knew when to fold him. Like, son, Socrates is all yours. Gotta go. Sacrifice things.
Right. Makes you wonder about those sacrifices. Anyway, Polemarchus, he's raring to go, jumps in to defend, kind of his dad's definition, but with a twist. He's got this Simonides quote, justice is giving everyone what's due to them.
Okay, I see how that connects to what Cephalus was saying, but doesn't it all depend on what due even means?
Bingo. And that, my friend, is where things get juicy. Polemarchus, he starts by saying, it means helping your friends, right? And then harming your enemies, eye for an eye kind of thing.
But Socrates, I'm guessing he's got a problem with that.
Oh, you know it. Socrates, never one to let a weak argument slide, right? He pokes at that whole friends and enemies thing.
Oh, I bet. How so?
He asks Polemarchus, how can we really know who's a true friend, who's a true enemy? What if we're wrong? Suddenly, what's due gets a lot more complicated.
Classic Socrates, simple questions, huge E implications. And this is where Thrasymachus blows his top, yeah.
You read my mind. Thrasymachus has been about to burst this whole time, and finally, enough is enough. If Cephalus is the calm sage, Polemarchus the eager student, then Thrasymachus is the grenade.
Reminder, Thrasymachus, he's a sophist. For those of us who didn't just graduate from ancient Athens, what's that mean again?
Right, good point. Back then, sophists were like the teachers of rhetoric, argumentation, persuasion, that kind of thing. Known for being sharp, loving a good debate, but also, sometimes, bending the rules to win.
Ah, so like ancient Greek internet comment section, got it.
Pretty much. So Thrasymachus, true to form, he barrels right in. Loud, bold, done with all the subtle stuff. Justice, he says, and get this, is nothing but the advantage of the stronger. Mic drop moment.
Whoa, subtlety is not his strong suit.
Nope. That's our Thrasymachus, provocative, challenging, and ready to throw some philosophical punches, basically saying justice isn't some deep truth, it's what the guys in charge say it is to help themselves.
Might makes right, basically.
You got it. He's saying any government, democracy, whatever, they make laws to benefit the top dogs. Just means good for them.
I can see how someone would think that, especially if they've seen how power, but Socrates, He's not letting that stand.
Right. Oh, you better believe it. Socrates is about to take Thrasymachus on a wild philosophical ride.
So last we left off, Thrasymachus was basically saying, forget all this deep thinking, justice is just whatever the folks in charge feel like it is. Kind of depressing, right? How does Socrates even start arguing with that?
Well, Socrates, he's sneaky smart, you know? He starts by poking at the inconsistencies in Thrasymachus' words. Like, remember how Thrasymachus was all, don't say interest, but then his whole definition is about whose interests win?
Ah, I see it now. It's those little contradictions that Socrates is a master at exposing. But he doesn't just play word games, does he?
Never. He goes for the heart of it. Socrates says, hey, rulers, they're human. They mess up. They might make laws that actually hurt themselves. So if justice is always doing what they say, even when they're wrong, chaos, right?
Yeah, even a broken clock is right twice a day, as they say. Even a bad ruler could accidentally do something good, even if they didn't mean to.
Exactly. So Socrates, he uses those simple examples to show it's not just about blindly obeying no matter what. Then he switches gears, brings up a doctor and a pilot.
Wait, is this going to be a chariot race showdown to settle the debate?
Not this time. He's talking about professions. Think about it. Doctors, pilots, they've got power, right? But a good doctor, they care about the patient getting better. A good pilot, they want everyone to land safe and sound, not about them, but who they're serving.
Okay, so he's connecting that to being a ruler. A real leader, they're like a good professional. It's about the people they rule, not just me, me, me.
You got it. And to really hit it home, Socrates, he takes that shepherd thing Thrasymachus was on about, remember? Shepherd only cares about the sheep to, well, make a profit off them.
Yeah, kind of brutal, honestly.
Right. But Socrates, he's like, hold on, a true shepherd, he says. Like any expert, they care about the well-being of the flock. It's about genuine care, not just using them up, you know?
Love how he turns it around on him. But does Thrasymachus ever give in, like really accept that it's about service, not just power?
Thrasymachus, he's a tough one. But Socrates, he chips away at it, gets Thrasymachus to say that every job, every skill, even ruling, it's got its own purpose, right?
And that's where Socrates goes in for the win, saying it's not about the person doing the job, but the people they're supposed to be helping.
Exactly. Doctor heals, builder builds, ruler rules justly. It's bigger than just themselves, using what they've got to do some good in the world.
Okay, I'm starting to see why Plato's considered a big deal. But real talk, if ruling isn't about getting rich or powerful, why would anyone want to do it? Sounds tiring.
Socrates was ready for that one. He says good people, they're often hesitant to rule not because they want power, but because they don't want someone worse to get it. He even talks about a city full of good folks where the real prize would be avoiding having to be in charge.
Wow, so deep. He's saying real leadership, it's like a duty or responsibility, even if it's not fun or glamorous. But let's be honest, sometimes being unjust, it's tempting. We see it all the time, right? People breaking the rules, getting ahead.
Oh, yeah, Thrasymachus, he's all about that. He paints this picture of the just person being a sucker, losing out to the ruthless types. Says the unjust life, if you don't get caught, it's more fun, more rewarding.
Classic rules are for other people mentality. What's Socrates' comeback for that?
Instead of fighting fire with fire, he kinda guides Thrasymachus, gets him to admit that justice, at its core, it's connected to wisdom, to good character, while injustice, it comes from ignorance, bad choices, that kind of thing.
So he's saying a life of injustice, even if it looks good on the outside, it can't truly make you happy. It's empty inside.
Right. It might seem like you're winning, but injustice eats away at you, even if you don't realize it at first.
So in the end, does Thrasymachus wave the white flag?
Thrasymachus, being Thrasymachus, he compares the whole debate to a feast. Says he stuffed himself silly, but missed out on actually tasting the best part.
That's one way to put it. I guess even a philosophical rock star like Thrasymachus can only take so much Socrates in one go. But it sounds like even though there wasn't a clear winner, Socrates got to him a little bit.
For sure, he started out so sure of himself, but those questions, they make you think, you know? Maybe what we think we know about justice, it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Exactly. And that's what's so great about diving into these ancient texts. They don't just give you answers, they make you ask even better questions.
Yeah.
It's like Plato is saying the search for what's just, it's not about finding the perfect definition. It's about the journey, the debating, the constantly trying to understand better.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And you know, if Socrates, probably the wisest dude in Athens, is still searching, maybe it's okay if we don't have all the answers either.
Right. Maybe being okay with not knowing it all, that's where real wisdom starts. So If justice isn't just about who's got the bigger stick, as our friend Thrasymachus seemed to think,
Hmm.
what is it? And can we really be happy without it?
Yeah.
Something to chew on next time you're facing a choice. We're doing what's right and what's easy. Well, they're not the same path.
No.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everyone. Catch you next time.